It's a Friday. You know what that means? It's windy and cold because it's windy and cold every Friday. 3, 2, 1, let's go. How windy? Well, you can't tell because the flag's not there, but I can tell you it's from the northwest at about 20 miles an hour and gusting stronger than that. We have mostly cloudy sky. The ocean storm is way out over the ocean. It's a complete miss pretty much. And it's 7:30 in the morning. There was ice on the water last night when I went to bed, but it wasn't windy when I went to bed, and that ice is all since broken up or mushed out, and there's the slush ice down there. Crew is in the yard this morning prepping to bring the excavator in, so everyone's going to be on out the door weather and more until further notice, unless I can get out the door before 7 a.m. because that's when they start. Steve is out the door. Steve is going back in the door. All right. He's not really a fan of the construction. I'm not a huge fan of it, but, you know, it's progress. So the storm, pretty much a complete bust. And so I'm eating crow for breakfast. Here's the view at Bass River this morning. And it's a waxing snow moon up there in the left, but there's no snow on the ground. No snow on the ground. A trace of snow fell yesterday. We chased it. But then due to circumstances beyond our control, we had to come back home last night. So we're not really missing anything on Cape Cod this morning. Darius, as always, was able to find some snow at the lighthouse there at Coast Guard, or where's that, Nauset Light. So there was a little bit of snow, but even on Nantucket, I woke up and I looked at the Dreamland cam, and I'm like, oh boy, what a fail of a forecast from not only 10 days, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, even one day ago. Didn't get the forecast right. The storm was all it could be. I mean, it deepened. It's a bomb cyclone. Right now, it's off Nova Scotia at 976 millibars. That's actually 41 millibars deeper than when it went off Georgia yesterday at 1017. So it's bomb cyclone number 3 in 8 days. Wow, 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 wow. And there, but for the grace of God, go we for missing this. The sustained wind there from this null school application shows 119 kilometers per hour. That equals 74 mile per hour sustained wind on the storm off Nova Scotia. And in New England, the red numbers are back. The red numbers are wind gusts this morning with a temperature, about 5 degrees in northern Vermont. And winds gusting to 20. Boston, 23 degrees. Winds gusting 25 to 30. 0 in northern Maine, so we're done with that warmer air coming in from the north like I talked about the last few days. It is certainly colder, and the summit of Mount Washington is back down to sub-zero, and about 7 a.m. it was gusting to 60 miles an hour, so nothing extreme like last week. There's a little bit more of a spread between the high off to the south and the low low off to the east, so it's not quite as windy as Monday, or actually nowhere near as windy as Monday. Timeout. I'm wearing my lavalier so I can zoom in without losing the audio. Yesterday, if you were frustrated with the audio, it's because I didn't have my lav on. I had let the battery die, and so when I zoomed in, you couldn't hear me that well using the iPhone microphone. But there's the slush slurpy ice, and we're going to have a couple more mornings of this slurpy ice, and tonight's going to be very cold. We're just about done with the record cold, but boy, was it an expanse of record low temperatures this morning. Sub-zero in Missouri, and then all the way down to about 37 or 38 degrees from Brownsville, Texas, to New Orleans, to Apalachicola, Florida this morning, I think got to 32 degrees. So freezing on the Gulf. What kind of Gulf? The Gulf, I'm going to call it, coast down there in the southeastern United States underneath the 1047 millibar high pressure system, which is going to go south of us. And when these highs go south of us, we gradually warm up. So why don't we get right to the weather forecast? We're going to use the Euro model, even though they're all kind of waffling and there's very little consistency except for in sort of the upper level patterns. But the surface lows, placements, and timing is very challenging. So this morning, I will start off with the high pressure system going off to our south. And you see a little bit of action. You know what? I got to stop here. I didn't tell you, though, that it snowed last night because it didn't show up right there on that map, did it? But it snowed last night in northern Vermont. At Jay Peak, of course it snowed. And if I count the diamond dust air of 48 hours ago, this makes it 53 days in a row with snow. And I'm talking just at Jay Peak. And Josh measured it in Montgomery, 5 inches. So a nice ski day. We needed that on top of that wind-blown slab. The groomers have been outstanding, but we want to refill the trees now. We have close to 100 inches of snow on the ground. I mean, it's not going anywhere. And I heard Killington even started up their snow guns again to keep us going into springtime. And this imagery coming out of Western New York, the lake effect snow has been off the charts all year long, since way back in November, even October, I think it was. And this is about 7 feet of snow on the level, I'm told. Shane made this video yesterday off of Lake Ontario. Lake Erie is frozen. And they've had about 5 feet of snow just this week. So every time that snow comes, it comes and hits in different spots. Look at him walking down there through the slush mud. I think they're wondering how they're going to operate today. They can't, yesterday were trying to extend that wall right in there, and there's no way they can do that at low tide, but something's going on down there. Always something going on. There's T-Rex. T-Rex wants to go in. All right, let me just do the Euro. Actually, I can show you the Euro while I let T-Rex in the door. So we have ridging in the west. In Montana this morning, it's 37 degrees above zero, and that's about 50 degrees warmer than a couple of days ago, or even 60 degrees warmer than a couple of days ago. So that warmth is coming toward us, but it's not going to get established here. It's just going to create a new boundary. And so it's a fairly quiet weekend. We should be in the 30s to even low 40s in southern New England by day after a very cold night tonight, and tomorrow night's pretty cold too. And then on Monday, now you get some warm front action coming at us. First a cold front, then a warm front. It's snowing up around J Peak Sunday, Monday, and most of us are just dry with a warming trend. But then we're going to get right onto a boundary here about next Tuesday or so. A warm front goes by, that's that snow, and we're slightly in the warmer air, but the front is going to stall in southeastern Canada, and we're awaiting the building of some new Arctic air. At upper levels, those blue lines are digging a trough there in the eastern United States, and it looks like Wednesday, an ocean storm tries to miss to the east on Wednesday, another front coming at us from the west on Wednesday night and Thursday, so that's definitely been a moving target. We can almost count on something going by on a Thursday, but now it's out to sea. And then it's really next Friday, here comes a cold front and a warm front aimed right at New England with a wintry mix. And then the cold is trying to win out here next weekend. Now we're getting to Saturday, March 1st and Sunday, March 2nd. We'll stop it there, and there's low pressure. This is 240 hours. Low pressure right over, what is it, North Carolina, but there's a front stalled all the way up and down the East Coast with a 10-7 low and a 10-27 high to the north. That's very important. That pushes the cold air in from the north. So potential nor'easter action here next weekend. We're talking March now, possibly coming in like a lion. And so the jury's out, but mostly quiet for a couple days, except for that snow in far northern New England. A nice weekend for skiing. Still trying to get used to what's going on over here. So I think that we're done with the weather for now on altocumulus. Those are going to kind of clear out. Humble pie, missing that storm forecast. But we get back on our horse. The weather remains unpredictable. So the end more from yesterday, the teams around here, Luciano, building this concourse, so to speak, for them to bring the excavator down into the yard. But they didn't plan on having an inch or two of ice in the yard. And I know Dennis just wanted to say hello to me, but they took off because I was making my video. And so some time lapse of them doing that. But then, more importantly, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have fun with the dogs. We took Rex across the street. Rex and Lucy were playing race around the island in the living room. Thanks, Jerry and Doug. And then later on our ride to Cape Cod to chase snow, we did see some snow. And we had Albacore and T-Rex playing around in the shop with Steve and Ed. That was pretty fun. And watching the hockey game last night, I'm not going to talk much about it. I think it was great. I think ultimately we can bond. I mean, we've always had, a rivalry with the Montreal Canadiens. So a rivalry with Canada is not new, but it was a good game, and I fell asleep before the end. But congratulations, Canada, for winning that Four Nations Cup, or whatever it was called. That was pretty exciting. As are those clouds. Look at those clouds. That's a little snow trying to come out of that cloud right now. So here comes the excavator. They're going to work regardless. Going to get that mud out of there. And the tide's going out, so that'll be favorable. Tell me that truck is not going into that water. Is that possible? The truck's going to follow the excavator down here. So more on this tomorrow, of course. And here's the and more from yesterday. Keep warm. Talk to you then. All right, that's the stuff that's supposed to go on the ground in the backyard. Excavator can ride on top of. But everything's so iced in. Not sure how it's gonna work. We'll be watching. I should set up a time lapse on this right now. Gotta go download the video I already made for out the door though, before there are more for this morning. Moving parts everywhere. It's 23 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, February 20th. The pinnacle of winter. We're gonna break the back of winter over the next 48 hours. But you still get winter storms in springtime. Climatological spring begins on March 1st. A few minutes later, new plan. Yeah, ditch the truck, stuff in the road. Time lapse of it now. There it goes. Make progress now. Like I said, they are hard workers. And I do believe I just saw a snowflake. Yeah, it's trying. Upper level lows mixing with the surface low. It is snowing. Sensory overload for sure. Very light precipitation has been noted so far. There's a barge going by. There's the slurpy ice. City of Boston. The international hockey tonight. Excavators moving boulders, shaking the house. George Lane Beach, covered with slush ice now. And I really missed that flagpole. How about you guys? So they'll be coming around the corner over here with that decking fit for an excavator. I can't really see down in that hole, but maybe if I lift up my tripod, you can see down in that hole. Take a break from the time lapse for a few minutes. It's a lot of editing. I haven't even finished editing yet today. A midday Steve update, matching the fur on the bed, and Mitt is looking down there, watching the crew working on the revetment. Because the tide was going out. No, it's coming in. The tide's still coming in. All right, they're getting just about done with this hole for today. There's the liner, and then you can just barely make out the chink stone down by his feet. And then the boulders go on this side, the mud goes back down on that side. And so this is just east of where they started a couple weeks ago, right over there. That's the complete foundation for the footings of the new pedestrian walkway. All right, we're chasing the non-existent storm on Cape Cod regardless. Rex, what do you see? What do you see? What's going on down there? Having flashbacks to 1962 or what?
Talking toys.
And over here, it looks like they've got the substrate for the new walkway being piled up there. I didn't notice that before. Right there. I don't know how they got that there. At least that huge truck. That's a different kind of substance, which I haven't seen yet. The puzzle that is the revetment. And here's our new staging. It's going to bring the excavator down the hill. Pretty heavy duty. If this thing could talk, how many projects it's been on? T-Rex, what do you think? Go say hi to Jerry and Lucy. Sterling and T-Rex, this is Lucy and Doug and our T-Rex. Hey, Sterling and T-Rex in Vermont. It's TK and T-Rex in Weymouth, where we're iced in. We've got heavy equipment coming into our yard. New wall going up in the back, as you've been watching. Do the whole run around the island thing. Yep, there they go. Go. There you go, jump over. Rex, are you toying with Lucy? And there's nothing like a little snow bath or sleet, ice, snow bath after a romp with the neighbor Lucy. T-Rex. T-Rex, let's go. Par for the course. Heading south way later than I had hoped. Tiniest little snowflakes coming out of the sky. And that's the word from Cape Cod too. Road is a little damp. Did it precipitate here a little harder earlier in the day? Plymouth County? Let's see. Suddenly mostly bare ground going into Plymouth, at least where the sun hits. But certainly a snow-looking sky. Yep, definitely snowing. Visibility's down below a mile all of a sudden. So weather's always different when you get here, close to both Massachusetts Bay and Buzzards Bay. Patuxent. Wow, this escalated quickly. Visibility down, I don't know, maybe half a mile? Is this just an isolated thing? Probably. Fun for a second anyway. Tiny bit white. But to answer my question from earlier in the day, yes, it is snowing very lightly now at the Sagamore. Well, It's February 20th, and so we've kept the rhythm of December 20th, January 20th, and February 20th, where it snowed on Cape Cod. And it was not really consistent guidance regarding whether it was going to snow on the 20th. The Canadian won December and January, but I'd say no one won February. Maybe the Canadian from last week. And we still don't know how this is going to play out all in all. Pretty dark here. Going through Sandwich. Ground is white on Cape Cod. Intermittent. Nice snow band showers. I should have chased north, but got that construction project going on, so here we are in Hyannis. And it stopped. We got that much snow so far, so the plow may stay under the cover. And I have to turn around and go back. Something came up at home. Okay. Nice visit to Cape Cod. See you again in April.
If you're doing some skiing up in Haverhill,
Staying frozen, Kevin. I don't want to stay frozen.
Head to the weekend next.
Definitely not a bike.
Albacore. You jolly? Rex looks all comfy.
All right, LB, come on. Come on, LB. Come on, LB. Come on.
He's getting the ball.
Come on. Get up. Come on.
He's my little pal.
Aww. Uncle Ed. He's having a big day, Rex. Now we get to go back and see Mommy. She needs a hug too. Hey, Chief. You don't have to shave? They don't make you shave?
Dustings here and there around Plymouth. This band has been rather persistent coming
Yeah,
out of
I
Plymouth.
get some good out of that.
From the Monomoy area through White Island Shores, headed toward Buzzards Bay. It's not heavy snow.
Kevin, you're way too chill. How do you keep your job?
Porch, your walkway. Same thing at East Sandwich to Forestdale. The rest of the flurries have kind of dried up. There's some more here to the south. That's the ocean storm, by the way, the northern fringe of it that went out to sea. This is the stuff that's trying to come in on the tail end of it and bring us a little brushing of snow tonight. You see some of that.
Tease.
Our futurecast data, again, the data hasn't been perfect.
Yep. It wasn't just jonesing because there was no snow on the ground back there, but we had to come home for some. As Greg Brady once told one of his dates, something came up. T-Rex, where are we? Back in Weymouth with snow on the ground. And how about a time lapse from both Cape Cod, where snow clouds did come in, and traced the ground white. What? On the long forecast. And here in Weymouth, where heavy equipment ruled the day. Much appreciated. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Pre-disaster mitigation grant program. Yeah, that's what's happening.
All right. As long as we're the beneficiaries. I can see the ice forming out there right now. Talk to you tomorrow.